watched the season 10 premiere of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And of course, Giselle begins the season penning a letter to Karen, who is getting out of prison. But then they take you back to 6 months later. So I gathered that Karen stayed in jail for the DUI issue for 6 months instead of the year that she was sentenced. The women gather at Giselle's house, and you know they have to pick on somebody. So the person to pick on now is Stacy. And they corner Stacy about lying, as they did in the last reunion, about TJ being her guy. But Giselle and Ashley did not have a chance to reveal to Stacy, as Ashley revealed to her later when she and Stacy got together to go shopping, that there is an actress who is friends with TJ who revealed to them at an event in California that he is indeed suing Stacy for not paying him half of her earnings on The Real Housewives of Potomac to play her significant other, as they had agreed. Now, when Ashley does present this to her, because she left Giselle's house before they could, she also left the place where they were trying on clothes. And you can tell that Stacy is not telling the truth. And maybe that's why she and her husband didn't work out. But just like most men, he is back. Seeing that Stacy is now another celebrity, not just on TV as an anchor on HSN, but she is on The Real Housewives series. So he's back trying to be in her life, and she has not revealed that to the women. She's saying that she's indeed divorced. Though when Stacy and her husband were having lunch, and she's so thin, by the way, I think Stacy appears to be too thin, because if there's any truth about television adding on 10 pounds, then Stacy is very thin. I think she needs to eat more. But she's still pretty, but she could, add a little bit more muscle, not to just her behind, but also to the rest of her body. But when she and her husband were eating, they alluded to the fact that they perhaps allegedly are still married, but now they're back together. They were separated, and they're trying to work it out. And she, just like she told the ladies, so she's confusing probably even herself, that she and TJ weren't intimate, because she doesn't do that. She's separated from her husband, not divorced, and she did not want to cheat on him. All righty, girl. And then again, it ended the show with Ashley getting into Stacy again at her own event. That would be Ashley's event, about the same topic. And maybe Stacy shouldn't have shown up, but she did. She wants to get her money, and she even, jailed Kay at Giselle's house when Kay was chiming in that she's a liar, and she said, maybe your problem is like you're a friend of the show and not, a full cast member like herself. That's what she alluded to. And that probably hit, Kay in the gut. But Kay is now by herself in a very nice apartment looking over the city. Her mom visited her. Oh, her mom is beautiful. I mean, those jeans, wow. So if Kay can look forward to looking like her mom when she's older, and they look alike right now, she doesn't have to worry about aging. So she and her guy broke up. He was uncomfortable, like Andy said during the last reunion, about being on the show anyway. And it looked like they may get together, though, because they took a trip to Jamaica that the mom told her she did not agree with. She likes the space where she is now. And if she can't afford, and it looks like she can, the place where she is and what she's doing, there are other fish in the sea. Because when you're a good catch, you have no problem finding another proper suitor who can match your handbag, and that would be your designer handbags. Alrighty. So then we get to Wendy. Now, Wendy, she doesn't have much in the back either. So I don't like these BBLs, but I don't know. Maybe these women need to wear undergarments that give them more, not a voluptuous, but a round backside. Because that picture of her in her house talking about remodeling with drug money, since Happy Eddie is doing so well, it wasn't very flattering to see Wendy from behind. But I don't want Wendy or Stacy to feel like they need to add a BBL, but maybe just, you know, an appropriate undergarment that would give you a little more curves if you're not going to eat more. If you're not going to have a hamburger once a week, then maybe that's what you have to do. And Giselle, they showed her at the beginning having lunch with her best friend, this guy. And she does enjoy being an empty nester and claims that she is indeed dating. And upcoming in the series, we're going to see Kyle Richards' ex-husband give her a hug. That does not mean that they are an item. They just suggested that. They also suggested that what's coming up is Wendy is shedding tears and saying he doesn't love me anymore. I do hope she's not talking about her husband, that they're just wanting us to think that, because these reality shows have destroyed many marriages. And I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the fact that these women are earning their own money, and I don't blame them feeling themselves. I can take care of myself. I am a strong woman. Speaking of a strong woman, Ashley is finally divorced, and that's what is going on at the end of the show. She's having a blooming party to celebrate that divorce finally. And it doesn't seem like much else is going on. But we are introduced to two new ladies. And that would be a Nigerian lady named Tia. And it looks like she's a business owner. And allegedly her family had some money. I hope it was legal. Because we know how Nigeria allegedly is. But it looks like her dad was or is an attorney. Because, you know, they still wear that white wig that they wore during British days when they are a lawyer. And she grew up with money, and she has money. And Angel is a business owner, and she might end up having a problem with Ashley, because she said Ashley used to work for her allegedly as a bottle girl. And Kay, being her friend, said, yeah, I can see Ashley as a bottle girl. And I'm sure Ashley would take offense to that, you know, saying that, oh, I'm more than that, especially now. And it's funny that Giselle says, you know, that's what we do. We hold this group accountable. I can't help but to think that she never held her friend Robin accountable. So I wouldn't mind seeing Robin back on the stand. She's being punished. And I also wouldn't mind seeing the other little skinny girl back, Candace. Because Candace was on a show. The nerve of her saying that she's not really into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And, you know, just like Nene, she claims not to watch. However, they always know what's going on on that show. So she was just saying, you know, how disappointed she was in Portia's best friend. How she started the show off strong, but then, and that would be Shamia, and then, you know, she got caught up in the drama of it all and was not her basically authentic self. But I would even like to see her back. But now we have to deal with Tia and Angel. And I don't want them to try too hard. I just want them to be themselves. And I couldn't help but to notice at Ashley's party that Tia and Charisse, they have a resemblance. They're not related, but they look a lot alike. With that said, we'll be seeing Karen soon on the show. She did not make her official debut. Neither did Monique. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And on this Friday, that was a lot to say. I want all of you to have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Peace and blessings.